Hello everyone, it's your Peacekeeper, and it's time for another channel update because, well, we're done with both of our How to Play lines. That means we need to choose two more, plus I've got some other housekeeping things to go with. Of course, in the background is a ranked battle in the USS Kidd, which is also an epic battle replay, so we'll transition to that as soon as we get done covering all of the update stuff for the channel. So the first one, which is probably the one that everyone is watching this video over, is, well, what are our next two lines going to be? And I have chosen the next two lines, and it's going to be the German destroyers, because it has been long enough that I probably should have done them already, and the Pan-Asian destroyers. So it will be a double dose of destroyers. Sorry for my cruiser players out there. Russian cruisers are going to have to wait a little bit, and we will cover them eventually. So just hang in there. The destroyer lines, what days they're going to be. The German destroyers are going to start off on the Mondays, and the Pan-Asian destroyers on Wednesdays. And that's the schedule that we will retain until their completion. Of course, all of these videos are going to start off, all these How to Play series are going to start off with a, captain skills video like normal, and then we will dive into the first ships of the line starting on their respective days. Again, that's Germans on Monday and Pan-Asian DDs on Wednesday. Also, it has come to my attention, and I don't know whether or not I should take this as a compliment or an insult. It has come to my attention that there is a channel out there that is actually ripping my content verbatim off of YouTube and re-uploading it on their channel. Now, YouTube's most recent policy changes of monetization and all that hasn't allowed them to monetize my content. However, I'll just be honest and straightforward. I don't know if that means that I've made it and that my content is worth copying, or if it's just so bad that everybody thinks nobody's going to care if it gets copied. Either way, I have had to go through the process to file, the Digital Millennial Copyrights Act takedown notices for it. And if it's something, if you're one of my subscribers, I just want to, I have to ask, because this is my request, I guess. If nothing else, you need to ask me before you use my content for something. I'm not saying, like, if you're going to make your Peacekeeper makes terrible videos and here's why video, by all means go with it, because that's fair use. But this is like a direct re-upload of my content. And really, the only thing that they've changed is the name of the video to someone else's name of their video. So, like, my Akatsuki video might have the How to Play Gigero, or, Captain's Academy Destroyer gameplay, or something crazy like that. Like, it was just weird. Anyway, I'll probably still say no if you ask to re-upload my content, and it's nothing personal, but it is my content. I do have a legal right to it. So I am filing a DMCA notice on that channel, so if you happen to see any other ones out there, feel free to throw them down in the comments, and I want to thank the person who did find it. I'll be talking to him here sometime in the next couple of weeks about that. So, also, if you guys haven't noticed, it's been a bit of a struggle for me to keep up with the timestamp thing. So I've got a simple request. If you guys are watching a video and you notice it doesn't have timestamps, and let's be honest, there's a lot of those videos on this channel, and it's mostly because of the age of some of the content, specifically like the U.S. battleships, the Japanese destroyers, German battleships. If you happen to be watching those videos and want to pay attention to what time all the stuff starts, just throw it down in the comments and I'll get it updated as soon as possible. That's pretty much it for the things that I've got going on here with the update to the channel. So let's look at this epic battle replay. So the ship is the USS Kidd. As I mentioned, it's a ranked battle. And I've been playing the Kidd in ranked because it is with the exception of the lack of hydroacoustic search, it is a monster in ranked battles. Whew. The combination of a heal, good concealment, excellent guns, all of that together just makes this ship just devastating as heck. And so the map is Mountain Range, and this is actually, as far as a ranked battle goes, not a bad map. In randoms, it is terrible. That should come as no surprise as anyone. This map just, for whatever reason, it works in ranked battle because the points of contention are over the objects in the mountain range. So we've got, our caps are in the middle of that mountain range that divides the west and east sides of the map, and then the sea cap is in the middle of where the sea cap would be on domination mode. So anyway, we've started off, I ran to capture A real quick, and then I came south to capture B, hoping to maybe catch somebody off guard. Usually what I've been finding is when the enemy team starts talking real heavily about getting into going towards C, when you can see that the enemy has a big plan to go to C, it usually means that whatever's coming to their side, their west cap, basically amounts to very, 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 very basic support. Like, they might send a cruiser, or they might send a ooh, that's gonna hurt him. Or they might just send a destroyer, maybe 2 destroyers. And the kid is actually really effective at dealing with that. Now, of course, yeah, we get a pretty potent torpedo attack off right away at the beginning of this. And I was running away from the Bismarck because the Bismarck's hydro, I could have jumped into the Benson smoke, because the Benson left me with smoke here. But I really, really was not too enthused about basically running headlong into his smoke. One, I didn't know if he was still there, but 2, there was really no reason to. But he's down to 1,800 at any point. There we go. Let's say if in doubt, it's a German battleship, you could throw some AP out there and probably make it work out pretty well. But as you can see, we're up to 43,912 hit points and 1 kill right off the bat. Now keep in mind, there's only 7 people in this match. So frame the context of this match into that. And you can see that things went very well this entire match. And at this point, I've also not taken any damage. So not only have we taken out a battleship, we have also not taken any damage ourselves. And even if we had, we would be able to heal it back. Now, our team is down 2 battleships to their 1 battleship that they've lost. And I'll be honest, I didn't pay much attention to the to what was causing that. However, I can pretty much guarantee that it's really not going to matter too much. I have managed to take Kid all the way from, I would say about rank 15 down to rank 5. So this ship is plenty capable of getting you to ranked 5. I haven't played much since, and it's unlikely that I will rank out before the end of this rank season. So once again, we've got ourselves a Bismarck here, but what do I want to do? I think we're just going to go ahead and we're going to wait. And we're going to wait for him to take up his battle position against something. What's he doing? What are you doing, buddy? You're turning out and away, so you know what? Fine. I've got no problems launching torpedoes at you if you're going to be this way. One thing that I don't really care for with Kid is just how slow the torpedoes are. Benson torpedoes are some of the worst torpedoes in the game. There's just no getting around that at all. I am, I don't know that we're going to get any hits with that. Because my reload is down on, or my consumables down, my smoke consumables down, we're gonna try and get him to, I was hoping to get the torpedoes there, but no. We're gonna go ahead and duck around this island here, and we're gonna take probably a little bit of damage from this, but it's not that big of a deal. I mean, he could probably... Whew, yeah, there was 3,700 damage from a very well-placed shot from that Alabama. You know, incoming shell fire, 2 advantages to going completely broadside against the German battleship. Well, against any battleship at these ranges. Basically guaranteed overpens, and in that case, he shot at us while we were angled, and flat missed altogether. So at this point, I'm going to go ahead and stop firing, and the reason for that is they've got 3 battleships that are over here, and I'm really not too keen on, you know, facing off against 2 battleships shooting at me. Ooh, there was some pens. Okay, so that hurt a little bit, but the nice part is this captain has adrenaline rush. So please do continue to damage me. All they have left for destroyers is a Kagero, but my guess is he's at A, and that's why I'm signaling there. And so now we're going to go back and we're going to try and, well, maybe we'll get lucky. Maybe we will be able to put ourselves into a decent position to catch the Roma and Alabama off guard. And they've decided not to go for the cap. Interesting. So we're going to use our stealth and the fact that that Kagero is nowhere near us. He's obviously up at A because that's where they're that's what's being capped is at. Now the Roma is coming in. Okay, so we need to lead. Yeah, we're going to go right there. And originally I thought I was going to be able to continue to spot him, but apparently that is a no-go. So I guess we'll just sit here and we will engage, well, any manner of targets that we can engage at. We're all over the board here. The Alabama is the only thing that is permanently spotted, so we'll just shoot at him until other targets become more viable. I was really hoping that Roma would stay, you know, exposed, but oh, well, we found the Roma with 2 torpedoes. That means that she is charging on in, which means we should probably, well, we're going to play this cautiously. We're going to play it by ear because there's a very real possibility that the Roma isn't actually going to come into the smoke, but you know, if I were in his shoes, oh, there he is. Okay, so we can actually see him now, and Bismarck is behind the smoke cloud there, so we should be good to engage. If that spotting aircraft comes back, I'm not too worried about it. But we're just going to continue to sit here and engage. Up to 73,000 damage, we'll call it. Getting lots of cap defense here. And switching to AP because he's on fire. So we're going to watch as we, well, 210 damage. Wow, that was not impressive at all. USAP at these ranges is actually plenty capable, especially on battleships. He's not quite broadside, but there's just enough superstructure on Roma that if I can actually get the shells to land there, oh, and if he does this too, it'll start adding up pretty heavily here. Of course, our smoke is starting to run out. Oops, random citadel on a Roma. I wonder where that actually came from. I don't know, but I'm not going to complain too loudly. Just continuing to engage, you know, we're not doing too bad damage-wise here. This is adding up pretty quickly. But, no. Okay, so we don't end up getting the kill on it. But now we've got a decision to make. We got a Kagero that we got to deal with. We've got a battleship, 2 battleships to deal with. And both those battleships are over at sea. Our Benson just needs to leave. Because that Bismarck has hydro. Bismarck Hydro is pretty ruthless. Up to 94,508 damage. Yep, there goes our Benson. So at this point, I'm going to... You run torps at the BB. Yeah, well, that's a good question. But why did he stay there to begin with? DD spying you? No, I don't think so. Well, we're gonna go around the west side of this island here to try and get to the cap. To the A cap, so that we can get the cap and continue to win. As you can see, we're even up. You know, battleships to destroyers, we are even up with them. Our 2 battleships are over there. They're telling me to kill the destroyer. The problem with me going and chasing down the Kagero is not only do I not have any idea where he's at, well, I can see roughly where he's at, which is way west of the cap point. Why these guys are where they're at, I don't know, but it's okay. I'm not too worried about it. It's just that they're asking me to do something that's going to directly result in us losing. And that's not playing for the objectives. They want me to go rush into the west, away from the caps, away from these two battleships, to try and find a destroyer that is behind them. And that's just not something that's really worth my time and effort. Now, if he shows up and I, happen to catch him, or he happens to catch me off guard as I'm coming into the cap, fine, I'll deal with him. I'm not too worried about it. But he is all the way down south. There's absolutely zero reason for me to turn around and go chase after him when we will lose this on points if we don't cap. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to cap, and it's going to probably piss some people off, but at the same token, I really don't care. Quick check of the islands there to make sure I don't Notzer it as I, decide to engage this Bismarck. Hoping to start some fires, although I suspect fully that the chances of me being too terribly effective at doing that, because, US HE, very low. But 95,399 damage, we are still doing pretty dang good on damage, and now we are going to... Oh, down goes their Bismarck. So our Magi decides to smack a Bismarck. Nothing... Well, I mean, now we got an Alabama and a Kagero left, and that's really all we have to contend with 4 minutes and 30 seconds left on the match. There's absolutely nothing stopping us aside from, people just dying off. There's nothing stopping us from winning this battle. We've got 2 solo caps. We're about to add a third. You can imagine what that's going to do to the base XP. Even if we do somehow lose this, I definitely will say that I will not be losing my star, that's for sure. And yes, good game, Reds, indeed. So, well, let's continue on here. This Alabama, he's still in torpedo range. He's still traveling in a fairly straight line for having a destroyer nearby. Now he's starting to turn away, but my knowledge, my guess, and I'm using my predictive analysis there to guess that he's probably going to head towards the cap. Who wants to guess, right? Since we know that the destroyer is nowhere nearby, I am going to go ahead and start doing my usual, and he shoots at me, so that helped out, or he just recently shot. That means that we have an advantage here. Now, he has 2 fires, and he burns the repair. There's high caliber. And I know that their DD is going to be to cap, because that's what I would do. So if any of these torpedoes hit, we're going to be getting a flood off of it. Well, if we get a flood off of it, it's going to stick, and that's going to hurt a lot. Well, it would be nice to be able to see. And the Kagero knocks out the Amagi. Oh, there's another fire. Oh, okay, so now he's burning, and now he's he's going to be out of range before those get to him. Well, that stinks. It's one of those few times where I wish I would have had, I don't know, Shimakaze 20k torps. I'm just kidding. We are in the open water, and I am going to engage him. At this point, I've got enough hit points, I've got enough heals left, I can take a few hits. The whole goal is to keep resetting the cap as much as possible. I'm using the throttle to try and mess him up a little bit, and then we're going to disappear again. Whoop! Oh, please. Okay. Well, since he's basically dead, we're gonna go back to engaging him. At this point, it really doesn't matter. Up to 120,000 damage. Oh, for Pete's sakes! Of course he's gonna live from this. 1,000 hit points. See, now he's engaging me again. He got briefly ADD'd off there. Oh, and down he goes. His ADD kicked in a little bit there, and he went after the North Carolina, but I don't know what's happened with their destroyer. He decided to jump off the cap? I don't know what he's doing there, but 122,475 damage. And we're off to try and cap the sea cap just in case, but that's not really going to matter too much, so... then there's the end. So overall, you know, Kid has been really powerful. It's because you can contest caps so easily. You can see this was a few battles ago in ranked battles. Because you can contest caps so easily, it does very good. 2,524 base XP. Wow. It does very good at ranked battles because of that, and the heal is very, very nice for that. And randoms, not nearly as strong. Anyway, I'm your Peacekeeper. Like, comment, subscribe, and thank you for watching.